jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, first in the building, Carlos Rosado is on deck this Friday. You know what it is, man. We back at it. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. You already know. If you don't, you will by the time this live ends. Boxing Nerd 101 on deck. What's good with it, nerd? No surprising. Carlos say on deck, WCS with the lunchtime grease. A-Side official. Hottest chat in the MF game. You better know it, man. You better know it. Big Blunts and Boxing. The GOAT is in the building. Oh, combat. What's the word, OG? What's with it? We have to talk about it. I heard what I heard. So who am I not to come on here and talk about it on a Friday? You know what I'm saying? I'm a little late, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's A-okay. You know what I'm saying? I had to get me one in around lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? A little busy in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here. We're going to talk about this word that's out there with future IBF world champion Jaron Ennis. I got to keep the same energy. I got to give him the same energy I gave Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I do. I have to give him the same energy I gave any other fighter that was, getting a gift. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with charity donations. But at this point in time, when you are one of the highest ranking, it doesn't look as good as you're fighting for a championship belt. You get me? N-O-N-A, Emmy on deck. What's good? Garbage. We knew it was coming, though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We knew it was coming, You know what I'm saying? Since boxing allows this to be part of their format, it will only be right that I stick to the protocol and speak on it. This is boxing, y'all. They allow fighters to be in a position to be ranked, to be the Mandy, to be able to slide and get these type of gifts. It's just so happened this gift will come for Jaron Ennis in December. The rumor is December 9th is when Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence will step in the ring. So we have this collage of gift, you know what I'm saying? This charity donation work, Salvation Army that's going on. We have Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Tszyu potentially will get his this month. And then in December, the next fighter in line would be Jaron Ennis of notable names. We have Tszyu. Is going to be picking up the illustrious, the beautiful, the immaculate WBO title. Jaron Ennis will be picking up the illustrious, immaculate, beautiful IBF world title and an upgrade that's supposed to be going down in December once Santa Claus land his sleigh and unpack the bags. Jaron Ennis will be a IBF Super World Champion. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing, y'all. Tyrese on deck. Salute to you. I'm frying salmon nuggets. Fish is always on the menu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always. You know what I'm saying? What better fish to eat? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day than salmon. You know, it's delicious. You know what I'm saying? The hot grease is still cooking. You know what I'm saying? It takes no prisoners. Even salmon. Salmon can get fried. It's not too much known to be in the grease like that. But anything's possible. We never know. Errol Spence might be coming out this fight. I'm talking about, hey, I'm a salmon this fight. I ain't the big fish no more. I'm a salmon. I'm a salmon for this fight, yo. Well, we got to keep the same energy and label champ. That's all I'm saying. N-O-N-A-M-E. That's all I'm saying. I got to keep the same energy. I gave this energy to Devin Haney. I gave it to a couple of other fighters who received their belt via email. I gave it to Jamar Charlo. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I gave it to Canelo Alvarez. He never beat David Benavidez for the WBC title. So you black extremists, don't come over here in my DMs talking about, man, you always, you know what I'm saying, singling out black fighters. No, not the case. You just don't listen to me enough to know that I keep it as much dialed in the middle as I possibly can. They should have to fight the next in line for it. The email shit is disgraceful. I wouldn't call it disgraceful, I wouldn't call it that. I wouldn't call it that. Disgraceful is, what's a perfect example of disgraceful when it comes to championship belts? Disgraceful is being Rolly Romero, gifted the WBA interim, clearly outboxed by Jackson Marinez, turns around, knocked out by Tank Davis in a championship fight, gets a rematch. I mean, not a rematch, gets a rerun at a higher division for a championship fight, gets knocked down early, and the fight stopped early. Gets knocked down early in the fight, and the fight was stopped early by Tony Weeks, and they just screwed over that boxer Barroso. They screwed him over. That's kind of disgraceful. That's obvious bias and favoritism going on. That's obvious politics, and we don't know the root of the politics to make that shit happen. But that's kind of disgraceful to me. I wouldn't call this shit that's going on with Jaron Ennis disgraceful. Not at all. Because he's there. He earned it. You know what I'm saying? He was at the WBO. He turned over, and took the IBF route. It's just internal to the system of boxing. We have to look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? All achievements aren't the same. We know that when it comes down to this sport. All of them not the same, man. It's difficult for fighters to get the full 100% recognition when picking up these belts. When boxing is saturated with them. Boxing is saturated, and certain sanctioning bodies have their own format on how to do things. You know what I'm saying? These upgrades. I said the same thing about Yordenis Ugas. Okay, before y'all start jumping in my DM, I said the same thing about Ugas and his elevation. You know what I'm saying? I said the same thing about him. It is what it is, man. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling? I just got a big piece of salmon myself. Y'all must be at lunch, man. Y'all must be, on your last 2 hours of work today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all must be on lunch break. I know that language. I know what I'm hearing. Everybody out there eating, get ready to head back inside. They want to make sure they have that energy to carry them out and cross the finish line out the door into the streets and headed back. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, man. I feel you. I wonder what type of t-shirts Errol going to try to sell now, because strap season man down are dead. Here you go again, Carlos, just bringing up, situations that's really painful at this moment. Okay? I will tell you to ease up, but who am I? Who am I to go against my beliefs? I'm be honest. Who am I to tell you to go against my beliefs? You know what I'm saying? I agree. Strap and man down are deceased. hey, dog. But we always heard, Carlos, you hang out in the graveyard long enough, you bound to see something happen. You bound to see it happen. We might see some spirits come December 9th. That's the word. We might see some spirits out there now, Carlos. I'm telling you, we might see some spirits now. Just because he's deceased, he was, they're deceased on July 29th doesn't mean reincarnation isn't real. We have to understand that. That doesn't mean reincarnation isn't real. I believe it is. I believe it is. And that's what it's going to take for Errol Spence to even be competitive with Terrence Crawford. He has to reincarnate the Errol Spence that was before the accident. And also, he has to basically, if he gets a second chance, separate himself from the outside activities that got him in trouble. You know what I'm saying? He has to do that. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing Coach Malachi in the building. Yes, sir. The new email champ. Salute, fam. At W says, salute to you, coach. What's good? What's good? It's a Friday. You already know. Dr. Paul on deck. What's good? W says in the chat. Hey, I'm here, man. We have to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Simple message transfer protocol. We have to talk about transmission of information and intel data from point A to B and back to A. You know what I'm saying? The pinging process in this whole thing of the communication that was sent out to Team Ennis to inform him that he would indeed be elevated. And I'm not saying Team Ennis wanted to pick it up this way, but all I'm doing is keeping the same energy on other champions that have been elevated to the super champion. And Ennis is the one that's coming into the frame after Tszyu. Am I knocking this? They're going to say, well, why you didn't do one on Tszyu? Listen, because I didn't care to. I'm talking about him now. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it now. That's why. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it now. I'm giving him his sprinkle of glory right now. You know what I'm saying? It's all about fortuitous. I'm being fortuitous right now. That's all on a Friday. That's all I'm doing. I'm being extremely giving. Why? Because I'm in the Christmas spirit already in September. I have heard that the date is in December. But prior to that, someone who's going to benefit from the date in December is the one and only current reigning defending interim IBF world champion, Jaron Ennis. He will indeed have an early Christmas present. I'm talking about fuck Casamigos. Jaron Ennis getting that premium eggnog for your ass, goddammit. Don't you even think he's getting that premium eggnog served to him, you know what I'm saying, courtesy of the IBF. You know what I'm saying? Everything's in place. His Christmas is going to be different than last year's. Real talk, because now he will be elevated to the IBF world champion. He will be elevated to the super status. Kudos to him. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up, man. Hey, clap it up. This is boxing. This is boxing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So what better month of the 12-month calendar to get promoted to the champion than December? I mean, now he really gets to walk around there and say, you know what? I wouldn't have wanted like this, because one of my colleagues did inform me that this is absolutely not the way Team Ennis would have wanted to receive this belt. but neither are they denying it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not have wanted the belt to come into your possession this way, but it has, and you didn't turn it down. You received it. You're going to receive it with open arms. You know what I'm saying? You're going to grab hold of that IBF title under the mistletoe, and you're going to plant a nice, wet kiss on the IBF title, because this will be your first championship crown of your career. Unfortunately, it was via an early gift wrapped present to you without them saying it in the post fight. And new, you know what I'm saying? It's just something about that and new that really gives me that tingling sensation. That's what I'm talking about. That and new gives me a tingling sensation. And you know, people say, well, you know, check this out, W says, when did you hear and new? Because you gonna buy. I heard it every time somebody goddamn earned a championship when I was sitting there watching the fight. I felt the tingling too. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm a champion. I'm just saying, Jaron, you know, it's nothing like hearing and new after you fought for that title and they award that title to you. That's when it means the most. Greatness. You know what I'm saying? Greatness. This is not gonna hinder, you know, his greatness. You still can consider it to be a half glass of water. You know what I'm saying? A half glass, not full. You know what I'm saying? Full glass would have been fighting for the title, but a half glass, you can do that because it's legitimate. He was in the ranking systems. He wasn't just gifted a shot like, you know, say for instance, Mikey Garcia moving up and then, you know, he actually beating Errol Spence due to a headbutt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? No. But congratulations to Team Ennis, man. You know, because the Salvation Army is so charitable, especially during the holiday season. And we will go down and remember this moment that you yourself earned your first championship. Whenever the debate come in, that it's going to be a little shaky off the start, Judge Jaron, because, you know, people are going to say, hey, what are you talking about? I mean, who did he beat to get that first belt? Who did he beat? First of all, let's start there. Who did he beat? Now, they're going to put that stamp on you for a good little minute there, Jaron. You got to be strong, bro. You got to keep your ear away from this social media. People going to sit up here and they're going to crown you. I mean, they're going to clown you for a little bit. Don't be on here trying to give everybody a piece of your mind. Let it flow. Let this shit flow. Let it burn for a little bit. Burn. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll start to smoke itself out. And you know, you'll be good to go. But for now, it's going to be hot, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little bit hot for you. It's gonna be a struggle for you to annoy this shit. Why? Because you're the next young lion on deck. You're the next young warrior. I like to say warrior. You know what I'm saying? You're the next young warrior on deck. Shout out to Cam Edwards in the building. One love to everyone in the chats. Shout out to the apostles. What's good, bro? Air was getting sent to the upper room after this rematch. Well, I definitely wanted to make sure that I inform everybody that supposedly Jaron Ennis, who is 31-0, will indeed pick up his first belt at the welterweight division. What does this say for Ennis? More to come. He has to be in a position to be able to unify. You know what I'm saying? Is Crawford totally done? Because he said once he moves up, he's not moving back down. So it provides us with an opportunity to see what can happen at the 147-pound division with Ennis being the first fighter to pick up a belt. You know what I'm saying? He would be the first one outside of the Crawford era in their welterweight division to pick up one of his belts. What's next with all the other three, the WBC, WBA, and the WBO? Will Ennis get somewhat of an immediate title shot, somewhat for unification 2024? And if so, who would that fighter be? That's my biggest question. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how hot the sauce can get. You know what I'm saying? Is Ennis going to be able to unify the 147-pound division? How long can he stay at that division? He's a big welterweight. That's my curiosity. I want that to reveal itself. We get to go through the new year, usher in 24, and hoping we hear some good news, man. That, you know, whoever picks up them other belts, it's nothing that says that Ennis cannot fight another fighter for unification, and one of the other belts will be on the line. You know what I'm saying? That's not impossible to happen. But in the meantime, I just want to bring this up, being that we are closely approaching the holiday season. And the first person that was on the docket for St. Nick was out of Philly, Jaron Ennis. And I just wanted to put it out there to the public, like, Santa is on his shit this year. Seriously, Santa is on his shit. He will be landing that sleigh in Philly in December, if the date is absolutely right, no injuries or anything like that. That first week of December, you will see some odd activity going on over there. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen Rudolph, but it's not the same freaking reindeers that you would expect now. These reindeers are AI, you know, equipped. They different now. Them motherfuckers come in, you can see them from miles and miles away. They whole body light up now. For real, they whole body light up. And Rudolph, oh my God, Rudolph got one of the most powerful LED beams on his nose, man, that you ever see. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker kind of blinks like a lighthouse and shit. They've upgraded. They upgrading them, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that the song has changed too. Rudolph the Red. No. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, pay attention over there in Philly. You know what I'm saying? St. Nick will be down in the area. Y'all don't go out there trying to rob St. Nick. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to land that sleigh on ground level. He's probably going to land it on the roof. And he's going to try to somehow, some way, scale down, slide that IBF title in through an open window. You know what I'm saying? And goddamn sending Jaron Ennis a text and say, it's there. Good luck to you. Glad I can be of service. I'm out. I think that's how it's going to go. Don't say I never told y'all that shit. To be honest, Jaron needs to leave Bud and them alone. It's boots time at 147. Get the undisputed, fam. I don't think he's really messing with it. He just, you know, if his name pop up and he's high in the rankings, Carlos, I believe he should let it be known, you know, whether he wants it or not. I don't think he wants it. I just think it's good for conversation because this too shall pass. I'm not going to lie to you. This shit right here shall pass, man. You know, all this talk about, you know, fighting this and that, bro. You got your title. You know, Crawford moving on, you know, the fight Spence at 154 and it's bigger fights. You know, try to get up with Crawford at 154. I'm pretty sure he might still be there. If in fact he don't get this fight at 168 after Canelo goes in here and beat Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping Canelo gives Crawford a shot after the Jermell Charlo thrashing. I hope he gets a shot. Tim Tszyu situation different. He had a fight day scheduled. Charlo finessed the game. Boots and his people pump fake like they wanted to fight. That's the difference. I think the common denominator there, MD. Shout out to MD on deck in the building. I will look at the difference in denominators with these fights. It's the fact that, first of all, it's two different divisions. You know, just to start off from ground floor. You know what I'm saying? Two different divisions. And also, who has been in the position long enough to get the shot. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Tszyu has been there for quite some time, and he's been able to disperse some pretty decent competition to hold down that slot, i.e. Tony Harris and Carlos Ocampo, if I'm going to give him any credit. You're talking about the guy who disappeared to Mexico and reeled off 10, 12 whopping, I'm talking about whopping, blistering, amazing feats to his record after losing to Errol Spence. You got to respect that, MD. But there's some similarities here. Rankings between these two fighters, the rankings, and also being elevated. Both of these fighters are being upgraded or elevated. It's according if you want to put it in alphabetical, phonetic, you know what I'm saying, order. They're being elevated, bro. If Jermell Charlo is going to lose the WBO title, isn't that the same sequence is going to happen once Bud Crawford steps in the ring in December? If that's how they plan it, both of these guys are going to receive a gift this year. It's just Tszyu is going to receive it a lot quicker than freaking Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to giving. Shout out to giving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when Bud leaves the division. And they're pretty much talking about, you know, that will potentially be when he steps in the ring, you know, from my understanding, in December. You know what I'm saying? Because he is next in line. And one thing about the IBF, they're one of the strictest sanctioning body when it comes to mandatories. They are. Just ask Sergey Deryanchenko. He benefited twice and lost them both. And then they say, let's move you over to the WBC where he had an opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo. Lost that too. I'm just saying, look at Teofimo Lopez. He chose to fight his IBF mandatory. I mean, the IBF mandatories, man, when they pop up, they get down to business most of the time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday, and they had, when you were singing on the panel that night, I was like, get ready for another Bud TKO. I was crying. Yeah, man, we just can't wait for another Bud TKO for real. And I think, you know, if that song haven't went viral now, it should when it gets close to fight time in December. You know, should find a way to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Get it out there a little bit more because people are gonna be reinvesting their interest again into this fight when it's officially announced. We don't know for sure if it's December 9th. We're just going off what TBB put out there. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying, like always, I'm waiting for the official announcement. We have got the announcement that he enacted his rematch clause, but I'm not sure if the fight is going down December 9th outside of what the Boxing Voices mentioned. Shout out to PM on deck. Salute to you. He better thank the Most High Al Heyman for that email belt. Yeah, man, they better do that. They better stay within the protocol. You know what I'm saying? They better stay within the format, the orders given. Stanthionis is WBA enemy, right? Stanthionis, I don't know if he's going to have the same opportunity just yet, but I believe you are right. He should be the interim. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. Spence Tech outdated. He need an upgrade. Spence technically outdated. He need an upgrade. Dan Tan on deck. What's good with it? If Bud is gonna fight the Canelo Charlo winner, he should fight EJ at 160. I mean, that sounds, you know what I'm saying? That sounds reasonable. But that fight at 168 is not something that's guaranteed. Plus, in my opinion, the short window that they have, that would be pushing it for both fighters to come in and at 160 with all the extra weight to come in there. I kind of agree, but being that the benefit will probably go to Errol Spence, because they always say how he's the bigger fighter, how he said he's a natural 165, 168 pounder. That would probably go to him. But Bud, I'm not saying he couldn't fight at 160. It's just the whole point. They always saying that, you know, he's a smaller fighter. So him and his team has to look at it like, if that even came up, you know what I'm saying, 160 pounds, they will have to assess it, man, and see what the advantages and disadvantages are at fighting at 160 in December. I mean, that's muscle to add. You know, Charlo has had ample amount of time to get in there and start working, you know, before the fight was officially announced. Plus, you know, he's already at 154, so that's just a division that he has to go up, which is, you know, it should be transparent. But now he's moving up to 168. Let's see what it is, bro. Let's see what it is. But let me take you to a reminder. Okay. Let me take you to a reminder of what's coming up. I want to basically reintroduce you to Chris Williams, the Bud Crawford hater. You know what I'm saying? I want to, kind of go over his article that he just put out. He says Errol Spence Jr. Officially activated his rematch clause to force Terrence Crawford. He used force Terrence Crawford to fight. It's not like Terrence was running or evading. You know what I'm saying? But this is his words. To force Terrence Crawford to fight him again, to give him the chance to get some payback against the Omaha native, who has been a victory parade for the last month since the upset win on July 29th. Spence can win the rematch because he's going to be highly motivated and wanting revenge, and he'll be facing an overconfident, less hungry Crawford. This is Chris Williams. He's a Crawford hater. Understand? That's why I love reading his articles. You know what I'm saying? He said facing an overconfident, less hungry. Who gave you that intel? Huh, Chris? Who gave you that intel? Trash. If Crawford hopes to be ready, he must stop with his victory lap and get back to work because he's enjoying himself a little too much. It seems like Chris is personally invested in what's going on with Crawford. For real. He's personally invested. It goes on to say it's evident from how Crawford is reacting that he didn't think he would beat Spence. So he's elated that he can come back down to earth. This guy's obviously under the influence. I'm going to start with Elman's glue first, okay? And then I'll upgrade it to aerosol. You know what I'm saying? He's messing with some aerosol cans right now. For real. This is what I'm gathering from this assessment, and my observation within the scope of my expertise, It goes on to say, most would agree that Spence 28-1, 22 knockouts looked like he just come out of a prisoner of war camp at Andersonville when he entered the ring against Crawford 40-0, 31 knockouts. And it's pretty obvious that he had taken himself to the edge of oblivion, losing weight to get down to the 147 limit for that fight. Oh, boy. Said, Chris, if you listen to me reading your article, it is not based off the interest of the quality of work you're doing, but quintessentially the trash that you continue to recycle. He goes on to say, if you saw how depleted looking Spence was at the weigh-in, you know that he had no chance of winning that fight against Crawford because he had literally been to hell and back making weight. And he shouldn't been fighting at that weight class any longer. Seems like a scroll of excuses. You know what I'm saying? So many excuses, man. I thought we was over and done with that shit. It goes on. Like any opportunist, he calling Crawford an opportunist. Crawford took advantage of drained looking Spence by beating him like a drum until the referee halted the massacre. It seems like he's been listening to WCS, because I know I was the first one to say the T-Mobile Massacre. Chris, give me my site, man. Give me my site, goddammit. Referee halted the massacre in round 9. The rematch will be a different story because it's going to, this is him now. Different story because it's going to these victors working in Spence's favor. These victors are fight contested at 154. Spence will start camp at a lower weight, right? More patient approach. Is he in the world-class furniture store? Is Chris in the furniture store? For real? Are you in the corner with your laptop taking notes? Because how you know what the game plan is? And who out here tuned in is taking this shit serious? And number 4, he said Errol knows what to expect. Yeah, he knows what to expect. He know Bud is no joke. He knows that the strength that he overlooked, you know what I'm saying, and Villapin, that shit was the biggest mistake he could have did. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? The way he sat up there and thought that guy was light in the ass, and how he shoulder shrugged him off. You know what I'm saying? And then after the fight, what the arrows say? Hey, he's strong. He's stronger than I thought. God damn. The article goes on to say Crawford and Bomac overconfident. This word is being utilized a lot in this article. Terrence Crawford trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre has let the cat out of the bag, telling Pro Box fans that Errol Spence Jr. has activated his rematch clause. Crawford likely would have preferred to be the one breaking the news of Spence activating the rematch, but Bomac took the limelight away from him by hogging the glory to himself. So you trying to tell me, Chris, that just because information has been allotted to the general public, the consumers, individuals who have to now re-enter their point of interest and whether they're going to go see this fight in person or they're going to pay for the pay-per-view. You're trying to tell me it was glory in that rather than the first one? You think it's going to be more glory? Are you forgetting that this fight did not end in a draw? This ended in a 9th round stoppage, like you stated early in your article. What glory? What glory would Spence would have gotten just based off the strength of, yeah, I'm enacting my. Who cares? Don't nobody care if he tell people that or not, because he lost the fight. Period. He lost. It's not just the fact that he lost; it's how he lost. You know what I'm saying? It's how he lost. He would go down in history as being the unfortunate victim of the T-Mobile Massacre. Period. It goes on to say this isn't the good news that Crawford was hoping to get, and he's been pinning away, hoping to get the green light to challenge Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo winner, to give him a chance for a massive golden parachute. Y'all, pay attention to these words. If those of you adrenaline junkies out there, you know what I'm saying, you have to have some type of adrenaline to be hardcore boxing fans. But this guy said a chance for a massive golden parachute retirement paycheck, and to try to become a 3-division undisputed champion without slogging, this is his words, SLO, slogging his way to the position by fighting top contenders. Boy, the hate, this just can't be a parachute. The hate that you putting up on this has to be a jetpack. You know what I'm saying? This has to be a jetpack. You know what I'm saying? You would want it to be a parachute, and you would like to be the one who packed the parachute there, Chris, because you would love for Crawford to jump out of a plane and pull that thing, and the parachute come out, and it doesn't catch or nothing because the strings have been cut. Yeah, you would love that, huh? You would love that, huh, Chris? You know what I'm saying? But that was an article where Errol Spence beat Terrence Crawford in the rematch at Boxing News 24. And of course, the author is Chris Williams. And be sure to check that out because the comments You know what I'm saying? Leave your comments below. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you comment on these articles, because this hate parade that Chris Williams has always been a part of, it's never gonna stop. You feel me? But moving on, as you see on the screen, right? You know, there's going to be there's going to be a bit more whole food purchases coming up if this fight is indeed in December. There's going to be members who was able to enjoy these festivities prior to July 29th. We will be back with our carts rolling through the aisles, picking up more fish, okay? Because we enjoyed fish fries, you know, leading up in July. We enjoyed it. Even July 4th. I mean, I ate different on July 4th because I know those fireworks right there was something that was going to carry forward over to July 29th, and it absolutely did. It absolutely did. It was lovely. I swear to God, it lovely. Wasn't it aerosexuals? Wasn't it? It was lovely. I swear to you, that shit was nice. It was nice. Let me get back to the chat, though. It was absolutely nice. Get my guy a record deal ASAP. They heard you say EJ may not be any good at 54 because he stayed at 54 too long. You know what I'm saying, man? They gonna come up with all these excuses, man. Even though we saying EJ stayed at 47, but you know, man, you know, what if he moves up to 54? I kind of gave that scenario with Devin Haney. You know, what if Devin Haney moves up to 40 and really his body was going through changes, drastic changes at 35? You know what I'm saying? And to the point moving up to 40, he's still struggling to make 140. You know what I'm saying? You've seen fighters like Xander Zayas who didn't really, you know, procrastinate when it came to switching divisions. He was at 47. He went through a growth spurt, and it was hard for him to make weight, so he moved up to 54. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to make it happen. Shakur Stevenson, he stayed down there in the division as long as he possibly could, couldn't make weight, so he was forced to move up to 135. I mean, I think with Spence, I think 154 is still going to be a bit tough for him to make weight. Serious. Like, he's still going to feel it. In my opinion, if he's up in the 160s, he's still going to feel making that weight at 154. He is, man. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to feel it. No doubt about it. He types articles about as bad as Diddy James talks with Mushmouth. So you're saying Diddy James talk with Mushmouth, you know what I'm saying? But maybe with Diddy James, man, it's just he's at a point right now where he needs more than one therapist in the room at the same time. That's what I'm guessing with Diddy James. He needs more than one therapist that's in the room at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Also, he needs those tubes hooked up to him so they can control, you know, his pulses and see the spike in his brain waves and what's pissing him off. You know what I'm saying? If they can get a hold of that and bring that down a little bit, then he may be able to go in there and be more competitive coaching against Bomac. Because Bomac stumped him the fuck out July 29th. That shit was easy. That shit was easy, bro. That shit right there is easy. Now, I seen somebody early in the chat say that Bomac is undefeated in rematches. Just look at it this way, right? If you want to talk about undefeated, when fighters start to build up their resume, they have fighters that are 2-0. Does these fighters later on in their career get recognition? You know what I'm saying? Like anybody looking at Terrence Crawford's, you know, early part of his resume and look at his first opponent who was 2-0 and undefeated, are they looking at that like that? No, because yeah, we can look at Jermell Charlo as being 2-0, and I even mentioned this myself in rematches. He is absolutely. Absolutely. He has a smidgen of bragging rights. He has a smidgen of bragging rights, y'all, of being undefeated in rematches. But you know what? This is his first time at 168 pounds, and it's his first time fighting a fighter by the name of Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? The creme de la creme of elite fighters. So that undefeated in a rematch don't apply, because if you go back, it's a reason why he's 2-0 in rematches, because he lost the first time around. That's all I'm saying, because he lost the first time around. Devin is 24. Hopefully he good. EJ gonna be just like Hurd, who stayed at 54 too long. He looked like shit at 60. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. You know what I'm saying? I wonder was he was struggling when he fought J-Rock, but I don't want to really cast that cloud over J-Rock's performance, because I thought J-Rock fought a brilliant fight, man. Like, damn, he shined, man. I was happy for J-Rock too, because it just seems like he was constantly trying to prove himself outside of the Maul Charlo fight, just like Erickson Lubin's constantly trying to prove himself outside of the male knockout. You know, both of these fighters were somewhat in that funk, but J-Rock was able to come up out of it just a little bit to take those unified titles off Jared Hurd. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out to his benefit. Therapy can't help that man. I think somehow, some way, man, if the therapy is induced with some type of psychedelics, you know what I'm saying, to place that man in a different state of conscious, I believe they might be able to infiltrate those inner, demons that's going on in there, those walls that need to be broken down, where he's had all this energy built up, you know what I'm saying, of somewhat coming up short in his professional career. That's the main thing I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with Derrick James. He just needs some help. He need to take time away from boxing. Just look at it this way. He's going through this year, and he has these fights after fights after fights. I know it's trainers. Right? I know that's the trainer's envelope, right? They have these responsibilities. Get it. But then if you come 2024 and you have a full plate again, and there's so-called big fights, depending on how you end this year 2023, people are going to be looking at you like, hey, you might need to take some time off, because Frank Martin looked okay in this last fight. Anthony Joshua looked okay. Errol Spence, he looked terrible, right? And then you're training, you're co-training. Let's be clear. He's co-training because he was up there in Jamel and Jamal's gym, I believe, both of them. Yeah, he was co-training. That was up there with Juan Guzman. So they may be training Jamel Charlo together, because if you listen to $1 Million Worth of Game, he made it clear, my coach and my other coach. So his coach just isn't Derrick James, but they may be the person that you primarily see once the cameras are rolling on fight night. But at the end of the day, if Mel Charlo goes in here and gets stopped, he looks bad. He looked worse than Caleb Plant. I mean, Derrick James, they're gonna have to, seriously, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like, that's the one thing about trainers, man. Trainers aren't locked in with a certain promotion. That's the one thing about trainers, how they can get over and do this, that, and the other. I'm looking at Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he stopped in close enough time to become part of the Canvas University picture. And we seen him training with Mayweather. I thought Ryan Garcia was over there in Texas. We see Ryan Garcia over there with Mayweather now. So I guess he came in, and paid a Groupon voucher, got some mid work. He got tired of being slapped in the freaking right side of his face when he wasn't looking. And he said, let me go over here to Floyd Mayweather so he can teach me some proper defense. Maybe he can teach me the Philly shell. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can teach me to be a slicker fighter. Because the only thing I see Diddy James doing is trying to slap my goddamn eyelashes off my face with a mitt on his hand. You know what I'm saying? He trying to goddamn swell me up, or give me a cut, and I'm trying to fight at the end of this year. You know what I'm saying? If I fuck around and stay with this dude, I'm gonna have cuts on the right side of my face. I have to wait till they heal, go through surgery, and come back in 2024. Shout out to Mark Nash TV on deck. What's good with it, Mark? I'm just saying that's the way I see with Diddy James. So the good part about this is that it's a lot that's been proven. You know what I'm saying? We just hope these memories right here doesn't resurface. I hope, he's continued to stay locked in. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have to, think that he's out there in the streets and not. He's spending more time outside the gym than he should be in the gym. If that is indeed the case, then that means the money that he received, he's saying, I'm gonna be all right. He got the Andy Ruiz effect going on. Andy Ruiz knew that he had a second fight with Anthony Joshua. So once he got his first paycheck, he became complacent and came back in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a Mexican Fat Albert. You know what I'm saying? And then we all know that this tweet was before July 29th, but it kind of resonates post-fight when you look at his performance. You know what I'm saying? We know who number one is now. You feel me? And then Errol Spence had no other options but to concede and give Terrence Crawford his props. Congrats to Terrence Crawford. Good shit. I hope we can do it again before the end of the year. I hope so too. I hope you can do it before the end of the year too. Because you have to come in there and get some type of redemption there, Spence. You know what I'm saying? Now that you was forced to put some respect on this man's name, you have to come back in there and get some type of redemption. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to face the first time in your career. You will be able to face a fighter that was two-time undisputed standing across the square from you. You know what I'm saying? You have that opportunity, Errol Spence, that you're going to be able to face someone for the first time that's proven to you that he's the better fighter at not only the welterweight division, but in boxing in general. He's in a place where you want it to be. And the only way that you can assume that position is what? Go in there in December and prove to the world that, all these excuses that they're given for, a part of them was correct. I'm going to look much better in this fight, and I'm going to prove it to you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have the opportunity to grace the square with Terrence Bud Crawford, man. Two-time undisputed, current reigning defending, welterweight, world champion. Yes, sir. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to this. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to return back to an arena where this T-Mobile Massacre played out for you there, Errol Spence. Within this picture right here, there was a community of aerosexuals who was in attendance. At this picture, I'm not sure because a lot of this, is from such a long distance shot, right? Within this frame right here, a lot of aerosexuals was looking around in disbelief, distraught, in dismay at what just happened inside their ring, their Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? They came to see you prove to them that you were who you say you were, and you wasn't able to do that shit. You wasn't able to do that. But instead, what played out was something that would stay etched in their thought process for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? For years, this would stay etched on the front side of their thought process that you were the victim of an attempted homicide. Thank God there was a third man in the ring who had the authorization to stop the fight before it got too bad. And that's why it went down as the T-Mobile Massacre, because of all the debates that we heard. So many people was talking about how Spence can beat everybody on Crawford's resume. But when it came down to July 29th, the one fighter that you didn't have on your resume that was still roaming around the welterweight division in every freaking conversation, every debate, was a guy that you said you was coming for that effing belt. And so when you put that on your manifesto, after freaking going the easy route that destroyed your sense, you know what I'm saying, of hunger, you got complacent taking the easy route, you finally faced off against this man, and you end up being one of his easiest fight in the welterweight division. Wow. A lot of people would call that a travesty. A lot of people call that a travesty, because not only did you get embarrassed in the ring, but every one of them aerosexuals that was ringside and all those individuals that put big top dollar on you, they didn't get that money back, shawty. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get that money back. They had a whole freaking plastic container of crawfish just hanging out for that moment. They was waiting for, Errol Spence to try to win the fight. And they was going to go live, and they was going to be chomping on some crawfish that they brought with them. You know what I'm saying? They had the whole entire plan mapped out. And that shit just started smoking real bad. You know what I'm saying? Real bad. Just like a vehicle that need an oil change, goddammit. A vehicle that the clutch is bagged, the turbo's blown out. That shit starts smoking crazy. They said, what's going on? What's going on? That's just the first round. Why is it smoking here already? Are you allowed to vape in here? No, that's not vape, man. There's some shit going on inside that ring. Seriously. That the tune-up is not gonna happen. It's over. What do you mean? It's just the first round, man. Come on, you on some bullshit. No, brother. There's a reason why this place is smoking up like that, man. Something's going on. Crawford's glove, man. I'm telling you. You see what's coming off his gloves already? This shit is smoking, dog. Something's drastic about to happen in this second round. Seconds out, that will go down in history. hey, that seconds out, yo. Heading into the second round, it would end up going down in the boxing annals, man. Because that's when Bud Crawford had figured out everything he needed to know about Errol Spence. Heading into that second round and let the bludgeoning begin. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna push past this, and we're just gonna put this out there to Errol Spence. We was there with you. I wasn't there with you on the canvas, but I seen you there. I was there. I wouldn't even say I was there in spirit. Let's just say I was there remotely from a remote location, okay? And I was able to see every time you was in the sitting position. And the fact that I said that your strength and conditioning was allowing you to be shown core exercises to get off the canvas, I was right. I was spot on with that, because you got off the canvas pretty damn quick. I ain't gonna lie. Your shit was on point. Almost like Simone Biles-esque. You was flipping off the motherfucking canvas. I was like, okay, 7. Get a 7 on that. Can I get another 7? 6? Whatever. I'll give him 7 out there. I don't need to go take up another sport. I think he can be a gymnast for real. You got your ass off the canvas. Terrence Crawford to teach you the errors of your ways. And we already know what the results were. But the biggest question to us is that, do you have enough to come back in here in December and show us something totally different than what you had on July 29th? You know what I'm saying? Are you able to show us something different? Are you capable, you and Derrick James, putting your minds together and coming up with the ultimate plan in a rematch. You know what I'm saying? They say Jermell Charlo's 2-0 in rematches. At that time, Derrick James was his coach. So what they're doing is trying to bleed that over to you there, Spence. They're trying to see if you can come back over here and make it 3-0. That's what they want. They want to see if you can make this shit 3-0 come December. Being that the rumor is out there that Bud Crawford did not even use plan B or C. Being that it's out there already, that it's a lot that we didn't see Bud Crawford go into. Like we didn't see you surviving once he turned on the kill switch and start to go tit for tat, mano a mano. We didn't see you survive that. All right. So the only thing I'm saying moving forward, just keep that in mind, that if you're gonna react or you're gonna exercise your rematch clause, please take ample amount of time to stay in the gym, because lo and behold, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to come back on here and have to make content antagonizing these aerosexuals again, you know, because it's so easy to do it. You know what I'm saying? I tried to warn them that the man has 0% chance of beating Crawford, but they was up here talking about I was on some bullshit. I'm just talking the bullshit. But neither one of them came back and told me, hey man, hey, you was right about that. He had 0% chance. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure you want to hear what I have heading into this next fight, though. My percentage is not going to change. I'm not going to say, okay, since they have an opportunity to watch the tape, he's going to come back in here and he's going to have an opportunity to beat Crawford. No. I think after the rematch, my percentage changed in a more deeper percentage, a more along the lines of negative. I have to put that line out there now. I think he has a negative 150% chance of winning. So in order for him to get even, he has to somehow, some way come up with a game plan. He has to take his body through something that is considered a miracle, bro. When these videos start coming out, we have to see him dropped in, locked in, buckled in. You know what I'm saying? He said he's gonna disappear. When he come back out from seclusion, we gotta look at him and say, okay, he looks different. Okay, he looks different now. This fight right here may be absolutely what we was looking for heading to the rematch to make it competitive. But on the other side, Crawford, you know, he's gonna be that much more prepared, like he was the first fight. One thing I can assume about Crawford, he's not going to allow complacency to saturate his hunger. You know what I'm saying? To basically curb his appetite to go back in there in December and destroy you once again. I don't think he's that guy, bro. To be honest, he's not that guy. I'm just being honest with you. He don't seem like that guy to me, bro. Sir Senior, what's good, man? He said, W says, right, we're looking for another helping of fried fish. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Mark said, I was there. They jumped ship immediately. I don't know if they, you know, I try to look at it this way, Mark. Were they ever on the ship to begin with? The reason why I say were they ever on the ship, these cats seem like they was on the bow. I think they was just standing on the bow. They knew the waters were going to get rough. So they had already placed a freaking rescue boat right close to the front side of right beneath the bow. And they were standing over there. They were just looking for a moment to say, you know what? It's trying to abort mission. So they wanted to make sure once they jump off that bow, they land in that rescue boat, that inner tube, and they're able to goddamn take it to shore. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they was clearly ever on Errol Spence's ship, or they was on his sails. I don't think so, because they was talking more about what Bud Crawford wasn't going to do vice what they believe Errol Spence could do. The shit they were saying about Errol Spence, it's just the same stuff over and over again. You know what I'm saying? How, he's going to use the pressure. He's going to use the pressure. He say, he going to step and Bud going to step. I'm like, they was just using the same shit over and over. I really don't know from what I was hearing and much as they talked about Bud, were they ever on that Errol Spence ship to ride it all the way in, you know what I'm saying, to their destination? Were they? Or did they always have a plan to jump that motherfucker when the waters got a little bit, you know what I'm saying, rough? You know what I'm saying? In the second round, they was like, huh? Well, why haven't you finished my popcorn yet? What are you doing? I'm still eating a glizzy. What the fuck? It's already a knockdown. Hell no. Look, not to mention, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of unfinished commissary over there, y'all. Now, if they ever do a documentary about this shit, I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk to the ones who cleaned up the place. And they say, you know what? We had meals that was left beneath the seat that was uneaten. We couldn't understand it until we start going to social media and finding out that the aerosexuals, their appetite was lost from the second round on to the stoppage. They could not believe. Oh my God. And another thing that people may not know, because we don't get this opportunity to tell our sides of the story, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've never cleaned up so much vomit in my life. I mean, we was going around the T-Mobile Arena. We was like, why is it so much vomit and mucus on the floor? What happened? So I got with the security team. We went up here and checked the tape. And therefore, we found out there was individuals bent over. And this started in the second round. Yeah, this started in the second round. Hey, we never seen anything like it before. Well, no, so we're still trying to figure it out. I'm just putting it out there first, y'all. I'm just putting it out there. That's what, when you see the documentary come out in the future, don't say I didn't tell you that the workers that was there cleaning up, they say it was full-blown meals. You know what I'm saying? It was vomit. You know, it was shit that was going on in that arena that they never witnessed before. And that's the effect that Crawford still has on these aerosexuals, because they thought by planning a secret trip to Vegas that they would be able to rub it in our faces, and they just didn't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't hear what I was saying. I told you he had 0% of winning, and you just want to look at it like, oh man, he just bullshit, man. That's WCS, man. All these dick ride nigga, man. Goddamn fanboy ass nigga, man. Fuck him, dog. Man, fuck him. He ain't gonna get shit out of this, man. You know, I just can't wait to see his look when Errol go in there and goddamn dust this nigga off, man. No. It was a bunch of oh no and yeah, get him Bud. I swear. Damn, man. I bet that shit was a crime scene like no other. First 48 ain't got shit on the T-Mobile Massacre. God damn it. Because they didn't have to do no investigation. The suspects was right there in the ring. You know what I'm saying? This didn't need first 48. Jesus, man. I'm telling you. Mark said it was beautiful. I bet it was, man. I bet it was. No doubt about it. I bet it was. You know what I'm saying? We tried to tell him when it came down to that on scene, you know, Crawford had won the coin toss. He was walking out second, introduced first. I tried to tell him it was all bad. They didn't want to pay attention, man. They didn't want to pay attention, dog. Your boy wasn't training. You thought he was going to be able to gaff off. What? Look, let me back up a little bit. I did a live stream talking about how the easy route destroyed Spence. I did a live stream way prior to the July 29th on how the easy route destroyed Spence. People once again don't want to take it serious. I say, man, just imagine going through all these avenues, right? You're traveling down all these avenues. And on these avenues, yeah, you are benefiting from taking this route. If you put it in perspective, you have a belt that you're going to. So you have destinations that you're going to stop and pick up something. Then you're going to continue to travel. Within that entire destination, that itinerary that you have, it's just one stop that's going to stay on your mind the entire easy route. And that is the last stop. Everything we do in life work off what? Numbers. Time is numbers. You know what I'm saying? Quantity deals with numbers also. In this scenario, the numbers were 4. You know what I'm saying? The WBO belt would be belt number 4. On the itinerary, he always knew that would be his last stop and his toughest stop. And he knew once he left that destination right there, it's going to be life-changing. It's going to be life-changing. That destination right there was going to demand more from him than he ever went through by picking up the WBC belt and the WBA belt. He knew that shit. But when he got on the mic, he said, tell Crawford I'm coming for MF and belt. I never believed that shit, y'all. I never believed he was, feeling confident about that shit. But then again, I do, as I continue to watch the fight and watch the epilogue and all that, him and his coach was blinded. The blind leading the blind, yo. It was the blind freaking leading the blind. They totally underestimated Crawford's ability to go in there and perform the way he did. They totally underestimated. And, it's just not Derrick James' fault. It's Spence's fault too. Because if you was really respecting the art of war, you should have treated your adversary just like Crawford treated you. He trained like you was a unified champion. He trained like you never had an accident before in your life. He trained like you were ahead of him on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? He trained like you was going to be the toughest fight of his career. Why would he go in the pre-camps? Why would he test himself like that? How can he get on record as saying that was the hardest I've ever trained in my career? How? Because he took it serious. He took the shit serious, bro. He took the shit serious. The easy route ruined him because he actually believed that when he initially told Crawford that he was doing something that he was going to benefit from. And by the time he complete the easy route, maybe things would have changed when it comes to that 4th stop and destination. Maybe things would have changed. Maybe Crawford would have not had the belt, man. We're assuming maybe he wouldn't have had the belt at the time. I don't know what was going on with him. I don't know what he was thinking. But it didn't happen like that way. It really didn't. Unfortunately for him, it didn't happen that way, bro. Because, they underestimated this man so much, talking about he didn't fight nobody, to when they actually started engaging one another, he found out he was in the toughest fight of his career. Because he never had momentum. Even the first round, he didn't come out of there talking about, okay, I have momentum, I'm good. No, he never had momentum in the fight. He said, damn, I'm in the toughest fight of my life, man. For this guy to not have fought anybody at the welterweight division that he respected. Errol Spence found out firsthand that he was getting his ass beat in front of millions. Just look at the look on his face, man. This is a guy who did not believe that Bud Crawford had fought anybody enough for him to respect him. And in the second round, not the third round, not the fourth round, not the fifth round, not the sixth round, but early as the second round, this guy was already on the canvas from a 2-1. From a 2-1, y'all. He was on the canvas from a 2-1. How? Next time you're going to pay attention. WCS is hilarious. He said his strength and conditioning stretches help him to get off them knockdowns quick. For real, man. I was surprised how Errol got up from the knockdowns, yo. For real, his core was on point. I'm not gonna lie, Shaw News. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw on deck in the building. Team Tucker official. Appreciate you pulling up. I gave EJ 2 chances to beat Crawford. 1 slim, 2 none. Hey man, I gave him no chance, and I stuck by it. No chance, dog. All that gaffing off in the streets, and then knowing and seeing certain things on how Crawford's mindset is, you know what I'm saying, just from the areas that I've had to observe. You know, I'm just saying, you know, this guy is totally underestimating the dedication. You know what I'm saying? His mindset and dedication, the sacrifice he's willing to put in to train for this fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, Crawford could have had the mindset of Spence. Maybe this fight could have been closer if Crawford wouldn't have considered Spence to be a threat just because he's been in the accident. And he may have assumed that he did have residual neurological damage. And what if he didn't train enough and push his body to those depths, those thresholds of failure? Maybe the fight would have been different. Maybe Crawford would have went in there and gassed in the 4th round and allowed Spence to start, you know, having a resurgence and make the fight close, so it can go the distance and we have a closer fight than what it end up. Maybe, but it didn't happen. I never saw Crawford as being that fighter. I didn't. I never saw him as being that fighter, man. They used to call Errol the hitman. Well, I got a call from Bud, and he said his name is Get Hit, man. Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, I heard that before for the comedians. You know, even Martin said that on his show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But he said his name is Get Hit, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit's hilarious, man. Cook with Sir C and Slim walked out the door already. Yeah, right. Slim walked out the door. Where you headed, Slim? Slim. Hey, let me holler at you, Slim. Where you going, Slim? Slim was out the door, shawty. Hey, Slim say, I'm gone. Man, hell no. But you ain't eating. Man, you didn't eat your shit, Slim. Come back, Slim. No, Slim. We didn't come all this way out here in Vegas for this, Slim. Come on, Slim. Man, we all gonna meet up in the lobby still, right, Slim? No, man, I'm headed to the airport. No, Slim. Your plane don't leave till tomorrow morning, man. Come on, Slim. What if aerosexuals on the phone with each other? I swear to God, if you could be an app on some of them phones, I swear to God. They was up there holding the phones to their mouth. Hey, they was holding the phones to their mouth. Hey, man, you awake? Hey, I'm walking out right now, man. I'm walking out right now. Hold on for a second. And then the person on the phone said, man, you okay? Your voice seems to look like it's cracking a little bit. I'm going to be all right, man. I lost so much money, dog. Dog, dry it up, man. Come on, you'll be okay. Man, stand in there, man. Hold it down, bro. Come on, man. What's going on with you? Hold it together. Man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Dog, I put so much money up on this motherfucker, dog. I just got to go back to the social media, man, and deal with these niggas. I hate them. I hate them motherfucker Crawford support. Damn it. Man, they was mad. Man, they was up there crying their eyes out, dog. They was their grandmas. Hey, grandma, you know I wouldn't call you this late. You up, grandma? Can you just give me a prayer, grandma, please? Can you just give me a prayer, grandma? You went to that fight. I told you not to go to that fight. Baby, I told you not to go. That fight was gonna be all bad. I know, Grandma, but I had to go. My friends was gonna be out here. Just pray. Come on, pray for me, Grandma. Please pray for me, Grandma. I'm in debt, Grandma. Grandma said, "Oh, hold on, baby. I'm gonna go get my Bible. I gotta find out. It's dark in here. I gotta go find out, cut some lights on in here and get my Bible. Hold on for a second." Them goddamn aerosexuals. Man, I swear to God, y'all are some characters, man. Shadu say they was a bunch of programmed boxing dummies, thinking Spence was going to fight like the narratives they was accustomed to believing. No, you didn't talk about accustomed to believing. So you saying they was brainwashed? They was they was walking around here like they was transformers, programmed to believe that shit they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? They was programmed standing in them chats on them panels talking that same stuff. Well, I don't know about Bud. How he even gonna get past the jab, man? You know what I mean? All them aerosexuals up there. You're right, dog. They so stupid. They can't even get past the jab. And then somebody says some shit like, for real, Bud ain't fought nobody at welterweight, man. What are you talking about? He got people under, man. Who are them bombs? Bombs. They ain't fought no, man, bombs. So you trying to say he ain't for, man, bombs, man. Who is he knocked out for real? You got Errol Spence out here collecting eyes and ribs. Who is Bud knocked out? TKOs? Man, seriously, we talking about TKOs. Man, TKO ain't no KO. But if you look at it, Errol Spence TKO got a TKO victory over the same fighter that you're bragging about in your Dinas Ugas. No, man, that's different. That's different right there. See, that's different. That's different. That's different. Because truth be told, that David Avanesian guy he knocked out, that's what I'm talking about. He ain't doing that. He did that to a bum-ass Avanesian. But when when Spence got them beat up Ugas, man, his eyes was bleeding for 40 days and 40 nights, dog. That's what they say. 40 days and 40 fucking nights, dog. They threw up the sack lunches we all pitched in. I know, man. I try to leave that alone because imagine how that shit looked. You know, I already said I put the bologna up in the trunk during them hot days and shit. They had some purple shit, green, you know what I'm saying? Some black shit on it. That kind of contributed to them vomiting all over the place too when they seen that massacre play out. Their stomachs was all, you know what I'm saying? You know, they had them queasy, they had them bubble guts going on. You mix the bubble guts with the bologna, you know what I'm saying? And what was playing out in that ring, oh man, a combination of the two, man. That's why them workers was there like, goddamn, we never seen anything like this before. You know what I'm saying? Rows and rows of vomit. Oh my God, man. Don't start on these aerosexuals, bro. Aerosexuals, are you listening? Make sure you share the content. All right. First of all, share it to any Facebook group that you're attached to and your own if you have one. The reason why I'm saying that is that I don't want you to go through another emotional breakdown like you did leading up and on the day of July 29th. All right. We're here to help. Just like we did with the bag lunches, we're here to help you get past this. We want to better prepare you for this December fight date. That's what we want you to do. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We want individuals like BF to be able to care. Because before he cared, after the ass whooping, I don't care. I just talk about the best fighting the best. I don't care about the results. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You just didn't care about those results. You care about the results. You just didn't care about those results. Stop it. He let them same clowns that had him get drunk put their battery in his back and tell him he can whip Crawford like the Ugas and Danny, who had the Al Heyman orders. He found out. Indeed, man. Well said. True words, man. We all know Danny Garcia, his best friend. You know what I'm saying? And Yordenis Ugas got the orders. You know, Ugas just stopped fighting, became a mannequin challenge participant. He just froze up. And then, you know, Errol just went to work. And then to sell it to the crowd and to sell it to the goofballs, he up there go right up. They go, hold on, hold still. We'll get this one picture. Hold still. There we go. Put that out to social media so we can sell it. We can sell this. You know what I'm saying? He got beat up for giving a valiant effort inside the ring. You know what I'm saying? They had to put that picture of Ugas' eye up there. And the aerosexuals, boy, they went ballistic. Oh my God, they went ballistic, y'all. They was like, look, King Errol can't be beat. The big fish. Look what he did to his eye, y'all. Come on, he can't be beat. Bud can't do that. He ain't never did that to no fighter. Never. Well, maybe he never did that to any fighter because they wasn't under orders. Al Haymon was in the West Wing punching air, yelling at Leo Santa Cruz in the barricades when Errol got stopped. Damn, dog. Damn, man. Y'all are showing no mercy. The look on his face when he eat that first power jab is priceless. Man, that shit was on point, bro. We didn't know that Bud was going to be in a giving mood too that early in the fight. Bud was giving him the punches that he desired. Like Bud was giving him new shit. This is what you wanted. I'm giving it to you. You don't have to do much to get it. I'm giving it to you. Bud became a philanthropist in there. That's what he was doing. He became a philanthropist, bro. He was in the giving mode. He was handing out ass whoopings. That's what he was doing. He was giving out ass whoopings. What better way to give back to the community in Vegas? Come on now. Come on, bro. What better way to give back to the community? I thought I was the only one that caught that reaction when he felt that Omaha, Nebraska heat. W says be knowing, hey man, it's time for him to go right back into the damn grease. You know, he activated for the bag. We know he activated for the bag. We know. He activated for the bag. We know. You know what I'm saying? We know, bro. We know. We know you activated for the bag. We know. Real talk. 10 who knocked out who? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that what Diddy said? 10. Who knocked out who? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Diddy. I didn't think I'd get this opportunity to just the presser, but in light of what happened July 29th, I did see where they proposed a question to you last time where they identified that it was been 10 straight knockouts, right? And your response was, I don't come with that, man. I already heard that. No, hear me out, Diddy. Hear me out. You quickly shut that person down. So my question is, I'm gonna rephrase it different. I'm not going to tell you about the 10, straight knockouts that he got. I'm just gonna narrow it down. I'm gonna dumb it all the way down to just one. Let's talk about number 11. Let's talk about that. What's your thoughts? What did you see went wrong? Because truth be told, I'm not here to basically antagonize you, Diddy. But I do have something to say about the way you felt that glove. Did you feel that there was something in the glove? Did the way your fighter was getting touched up out there, did you feel that you needed to basically throw in the towel in your mind? Did you feel like ignoring those previous 10 knockouts was one of your biggest mistakes you ever did as a coach? Did you? Because I think you had an epiphany when you were seeing that massacre play out. I think you did. I think you sat there and you said to yourself, damn, I underestimated this guy. But I'm gonna molest his gloves to see can I find something in there that can get me out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's something that can get me out of this ass whooping that my fighter just was a part of. I know it's something. I'm gonna start with his gloves, and then I'm gonna try to find out, can I find the A and B sample? You know what I'm saying? And try to slip some in that A and B sample, because goddamn it, he's with Victor Conte. I'm gonna try to get with some people that's been talking about it online and see can we goddamn get that A and B sample to come back dirty. Whew! I think I can do it. I think I can do it. You know, Diddy James was filling gloves, y'all. It wasn't his fighter's gloves. He was filling the gloves of Crawford because he couldn't believe what he was witnessing in there. He said 10 who? Until he started seeing the shit play out. What? Look, this wasn't so-called the left hand that a southpaw is supposed to be praised for. Being that Crawford is, you know, naturally an orthodox fighter. He reached over there and felt his power hand, the right hand. You know what I'm saying? He had to see. You know what I'm saying? He had to see, can he feel any type of foreign contraband? That is a man who had no other options, y'all. This man had no other options. He was desperate, pitiful, pathetic, and he wanted to find the easy way out by trying to insinuate that Bud Crawford was cheating. Instead of coming in there properly prepared, so his fighter can go in there and win in convincing fashion, so he won't have to do no molesting of the gloves. He didn't do that. He got it. Look, both of them got their ass beaten the same night, bro. They did. Them ninjas made an agreement. Bud was hearing Wiz Khalifa, the ring. I shot to the brain, another 3 more shots. I'm going on my level. Gotta love how Bud always respond with, all right. There was gonna rub pads on Crawford like they said, but now I tried to do with Tank. You know what I'm saying? Dug down EJ defense. Hey man, we all know that heading into this next fight is that Diddy James should have learned something from that night. He took it for granted. He was so quick to cut it short. You know what I'm saying? To be all riled up and angry. That's what he does, man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to care, you know, and then he came out in that interview and said Spence better than Crawford. He's still punch drunk, man. I'll tell you, goddamn Crawford was beating 2 people's ass on July 29th. You know what I'm saying? He was beating 2 people's ass for real. That's what was going on. That's why, you know, when I put that thumbnail up, you know, he was in a daze, y'all. He couldn't believe what he witnessed. Y'all remember that thumbnail I put up there, right? You know what I'm saying? When Diddy James was up there looking at Errol Spence in disgust. Seriously. He has to come in there with something better this time around. He has to. Because we don't want to see this play out again. You know, because, you know, Shaw News has been on record as respectfully saying that he was incompetent. Respectfully. That's the only way you got to respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Some people believe that he was incompetent. Respectfully. You know, we can't let that slide by like it don't matter. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that Errol Spence is a better fighter. This is Diddy James now. This is Diddy James. This is the same Diddy James, y'all, that when it came down to it, this is the look that he had with Errol Spence. Look at that look, y'all. Look at that. When I did that on the warning signs, look at that look. God damn. If goddamn eyes could tell a story, Diddy James saying to himself, how did both of us get our ass whooped tonight? I didn't think the 10 knockouts he had was that serious. But from the look of your face, I fucked up. That's what Diddy James was saying. I fucked up. Real talk. Look at the look on that. Look at that. He looking at that like, look, he's looking at Spence, but he ain't looking at Spence. He's having what you call flashbacks. That's what Derrick James is looking. He's looking at when he was sat down on his ass doing his career, and he's looking at Spence, but yet he's daydreaming. It took me a little bit of time to figure this out, but I stared at this long enough. I said, okay, I got it. He see the pain on Errol Spence. He see how much he's wearing the fight on his face. He see the damage that Crawford inflicted, but yet he looked at him so long, he ended up daydreaming. He ended up zoning out, man. And his own fears start taking over this stare. Look at him. He's daydreaming, man. He's thinking about his career, how it was all over the place, how he never was able to get to where Spence was. And once Spence had the opportunity to basically give him a second undisputed titleist in the camp, he blew it. He blew it. Derrick James blew it. You know you blowed it. You blowed it, boy. Look at that. You blew it. He's daydreaming right there. He said, that's the kind of conversation he was having, his inner thoughts. For real. Now, I'm not going to be able to get you subtitles for that type of language, nor am I going to be able to hire a dragoman before I shut this live down. But you just have to figure it out on your own, okay? Hit the replay, and you might be able to understand some little bits and pieces of what I was saying. Bud was here. I read that. Derrick was going to rub Pez. I read that. Moose can fight for the belt if the champs are moving to a different division entirely. That doesn't mean business stops operating. True. I mean, true. Nobody's saying business. You know, boxing is a business. So however they place these belts into position of fights to do it, all I'm saying is, you know, he's getting an early Christmas present. It doesn't negate him being a legitimate, you know, fighter that deserves to be in that position. He's here now. You know what I'm saying? Boots ain't a bum. Boots is the next to take over, you know, in the welterweight division. He can potentially unify the division. If the belts is in the right places, then guess what? He might be able to fight for undisputed. You never know. I won't be surprised if Errol retire after the rematch. I mean, getting another 20 million potentially. I'm just guessing 15 to 20 million. That'd be good money, dog. You know what I'm saying? That'd be good money. Shout out to Key on Deck. He said disgusted. Yeah, man, he looked disgusted at Errol, but he zoned out, man. That nigga, you know, he had PTSD flashbacks, man, to when he was a boxer. He looked at all that shit, just hit him all at once, man. He's like, fuck. Errol ring walk song for the rematch would be Donnie McClurkin. We fall down. Man, I hope he bet. Nah, he said that song gotta touch him. He said that song gotta touch him. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a song that gets him into the moment. You know what I'm saying? I doubt it's gonna be Donnie McClurkin, man. See, he got to have a song with a bit more bass in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. He got to come with a song that reflects on, you know, how tough his travels was, you know, what he did, what he had to do to get there. And now he sits atop the throne again. You know what I'm saying? He needs something that encompasses all of that. All of it. But hey, man, y'all hold it down. Man, it's like over an hour 30. Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always. Man, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side official. You already know what it is, man. We should do it again. Hit the like button on your way out. Share the content. Sub to the channel. Peace.
Left, jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.